Welcome back to The Foundry by Forge College. So, following our last lesson on designing recovery processes and failure modes, today we are tackling a totally different kind of challenge, trying to scale NFTs without absolutely clogging the blockchain. We're diving deep into the Bubblegum protocol. It's this brilliant engineering blueprint that literally stops the network from breaking under the immense weight of millions of digital assets. Let's get right into this explainer.
All right, here's our roadmap for today. 1. Unpacking Bubblegum. 2. The assembly line. 3. The end-to-end workflow. 4. Verifying the claim. And 5. Final inspection.
Section 1. Unpacking the Bubblegum protocol.
Okay, so here's the core issue. Blockchains absolutely hate heavy data. Storing millions of JPEGs directly on a high-speed ledger, it's literally like trying to parallel park a massive cruise ship in a compact car space. It's wildly expensive, and it bottlenecks the entire network. That is exactly where Bubblegum comes in. This architecture separates all that heavy off-chain data storage from a super compact on-chain anchor. Think of it like a giant cargo ship dropping a tiny, mathematically secure pin directly onto the Solana blockchain. It proves the off-chain cargo is exactly what we say it is, without dragging the whole ship onto the chain.
Section 2. The assembly line crew.
It essentially takes 3 essential workers to keep this highly efficient protocol assembly line running. First up, we have the prover. Imagine them as the factory floor worker, right? They're constructing the raw Merkle leaves and the inclusion proofs. Next is the sequencer, kind of like a stressed-out logistics manager, batching up all those leaf updates, computing the route, and stamping the official manifest on-chain. And finally, the verifier. That's your highly caffeinated QA inspector with a clipboard, making sure the product perfectly matches the anchor.
Now, you've really got to notice the stark contrast in where these guys operate. The prover operates entirely off-chain, enjoying virtually endless space and super cheap compute to build out those leaves and proofs. But on the flip side, the sequencer interacts directly with the blockchain. Their workspace is incredibly expensive and constrained on-chain real estate. They are literally forced to distill all that off-chain chaos down into a single authoritative anchor.
Section 3. The end-to-end workflow.
Let's walk through how this actually flows from start to finish. Step 1. Mint request. You ask for a mint, and the prover creates a cryptographic leaf. Step 2. Batch. The sequencer grabs that leaf along with thousands of others and orders them. Step 3. Anchor. The sequencer submits the computed root of that batch directly on-chain. Step 4. Verify. You compare your proof to that on-chain anchor. And step 5. Reconcile, which is where we handle state divergence.
I really want to highlight that 5th step because it matters a lot. In the real world, things break. The sequencer might trip over a network delay, causing the off-chain reality and the on-chain truth to inevitably drift apart. Reconciliation relies heavily on batch histories and sequence continuity to fix this. It's basically the cleanup crew coming in to sync everything back up so a temporary hiccup doesn't cause you to lose your assets.
Section 4. Verifying the ownership claim.
So this is the million-dollar question, right? Without getting completely bogged down in TypeScript syntax, how does a lightweight client, maybe just a simple web browser wallet, actually prove that you own a compressed NFT out of a massive collection of millions, using only a tiny sliver of data?
Well, it's a beautifully logical sequence. First, you fetch the on-chain anchor root. That's your official stamp. Then, you hash the specific claimed leaf preimage. Next, you use the puzzle pieces you provided to mathematically recompute the root all the way to the top. The big reveal? You just compare your computed root to the anchored root. If your rebuilt puzzle perfectly matches the official stamp, boom, your claim is approved. It's pure cryptographic magic.
Section 5, Key Takeaways and Next Steps. If you remember one thing today, burn this quote into your brain. Mismatched formats break verification even when roots are anchored correctly. That is absolutely crucial. You could have the most elegant, perfectly anchored root on the blockchain, but if the prover and verifier don't use the exact same serialization and hashing rules, the math fails. The whole assembly line grinds to a complete halt. Precision here is totally non-negotiable.
So here is your final inspection checklist. 1. The on-chain root is the ultimate canonical reference. Always trust the chain. 2. Always check your anchor freshness and sequence continuity. Nobody wants to rely on stale data. And 3, take a deep breath, because up next, we're taking this beautiful, orderly assembly line and we are going to apply it to concurrent Merkle trees.
I mean, think about it. How exactly do you prevent total, absolute chaos
when thousands of proofs and updates are colliding at the exact same millisecond. That requires a whole new dimension of architectural thinking. So if you're ready to tackle that, you've got to visit forge.college to master concurrent Merkle trees and really level up your Web3 engineering skills. Thanks for tuning into this explainer. Keep building, and I will see you in the next one.